Today on the grid, it is travel tip day. We're doing travel tips and travel photography tips and just a bunch of tips. Plus, we have Dylan Kotecki from ON1 Software is going to be showing us a few cool things as well, including a travel tip. And we've got some news. We got some really great giveaways today. Really wonderful, delightful stuff to give away. It's going to be another fine day on the grid. And it just starts in 11 seconds flat. Let's go!
The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the grid. On behalf of myself and Erik Kuna and Dalton Ham, welcome our entire studio audience today. I guess I don't really need these on yet. So anyway, welcome.
Yes.
Glad to have you guys here. Today is travel tip day. Here's my first tip. Do not travel to Tampa today. It's currently 91 degrees, but there is a heat advisory because the heat index today is supposed to be 109 degrees.
Yes.
That feels like.
You know what that sounds like? August in Florida.
Sounds like August in Florida.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yes.
August. Hey, do you notice, is this just the TV blue or are we blue today?
Well, the TV's blue, but that doesn't mean we're blue because that TV is not color. I mean, I don't know.
This TV's it's not good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out to the control room. Make sure we're not too blue because we look like we're on the cadavers on NCIS.
You know why? It's because we just see white balance.
We
It's
do.
like
We see
that
white
Sixth
balance
Sense where
everywhere.
I see dead people. I see white balance.
Yeah, so this table we're on is gray, but I look at it and it looks blue.
Well, you can
so.
also see it in the calendar behind you and the trim of the white.
Yeah.
You can see the blue and the white.
Yeah.
So like
there's
immediately
blue
you go,
and the
oh,
white.
it's blue.
Yep, you can see it. Like if you put an eyedropper on this and what do they call it? The color mixer dropper, it would be like, whoa.
Well, it's
blue.
even their skin tone colors. Now, see, we're
Yep,
warming
see,
up a little bit.
we're warming up a little. There we go.
bit. Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's
It's
better.
amazing. Yeah. It's amazing what that white balance does.
Amazing what white balance does. Okay, so this is episode 704. We've got some giveaways. Let's go ahead and jump into what we're giving away today to
So we
someone
got a
watching live.
Platypod multi-accessory kit we're giving away to somebody.
Woo!
So there you go. You can win that. You can also get your Platypod and all your accessories over at platypod.com. Then we're going to be giving away a copy of Scott's iPhone photography book.
Hey guys, this has been my best-selling book for 5 years straight. This is the brand new version that just came out. It just hit Amazon. You know it's new when they don't discount it.
Yes, there you go.
Like they're not discounting
the
it.
price is the price.
The price is the price. But anyway, that's that.
Speaking of discounted books.
No, it's not. Oh no, it's not.
Nice
It's just been
photography
out long enough for Amazon to discount
Look
it.
at you get 20% off.
20% off right there, paperback.
And another one, travel photography book.
Perfect day for it.
Perfect day for it.
All right, there we
Somebody's
go.
gonna win that. Ooh, 44%
Oh,
off
dude,
on
look at that.
one.
$14.99. That
Yeah.
is dirt cheap.
All right,
Cheap.
so somebody's going to win that on the show today. All you got to do is go over to kel.by/grid prize. And
We have a
that
graphic
will-
for that. There it
Yeah,
is.
there it is.
Oh,
Right?
Joey.
And what you're going to do is fill out the form, tell us what you'd like to win, and then at the end of the show, we'll pick a winner at random and announce it at the end of the show and then contact you and get your prize.
It's so random.
Yes.
All right, you ready to launch in some tips?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Now, Eric's are mostly photography. Mine are
all photography.
Okay, mine are regular tips.
I thought we were just doing photography. Miscommunication.
Oh no, I just thought we were going to do both, and now
then
we're blue
We're
again.
doing blue. We're doing both.
We went
now.
blue again. Why did we go blue? We were
Well,
looking.
I mean, I think it's because you looked away and then you looked back, and now you can see that it's still blue.
It's blue.
It started moving in the right direction.
Yeah. And I even got a note from the control room that says we're working on it.
So, anyways, what's your first tip?
They're not working hard on it. All right, here's my first tip.
Travel tip.
All right.
Travel
so
tip.
if you're traveling internationally, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're driving from Tampa to Jacksonville, I don't have a lot of tips for you. But if you're traveling internationally, I have a wonderful tip for you.
I got a tip. Don't. Oh, sorry.
So, you know your iPhone has a calculator, right? You know that, right? This is an iPhone tip. Your iPhone has a calculator.
Yes, it does.
And this is it right
Ooh,
here.
I know this tip. This is a good one.
This is your thing, right?
Yes.
Did you know that it has a currency converter built into it, and it's fantastic? So you're using your regular calculator. You just go over here and you tap on calculator.
So you tap in that corner.
It says basic, scientific, and the very last one says the word convert.
So it's up in the
top right corner.
Top right corner. There's a little icon. You click on it, and then it'll drop down.
You tap on convert, and now I am converting from U.S. dollars to Swiss francs, which that's the last place I was, I guess.
Yes.
So that's it. It's wonderful, and it works just like a regular calculator. I had all these apps I've used over the years, and you have to remember how to use them and all. There's nothing to this. You just pick the currency you want, and that's what comes up. And I love it. And you can toggle back and forth between, I want, if I say I only want to spend 100 US dollars, how many Swiss francs is that? It tells you. Or then you could do the opposite and say, all right, this thing is 498 Swiss francs. How many US dollars is that? So anyway, that's my first tip. It's a great one. You'll love it. I don't even use any other apps. That's what I use, and it works fantastically.
I got a great tip here for photographers, right? Going to a city, right? So here's my tip. The cheapest crowd removal tool in travel photography
is
an alarm clock.
Get up early.
If you can beat the crowds if you get there before the city wakes up, right? And that's the best crowd removal tool. So everybody goes at the convenient time. Everybody goes at
9 o'clock.
Sunset is the time to not do monuments where you want little amount of people, because in the morning before, and this is the key too, it's before the sun rises, you want to be there. You want to get there when it's like the beginning of twilight and work that light up until sunrise. That's when you want to be there. Because I can guarantee you too, what's going to happen is the minute the sun rises, that's when tourists start to show up too. And other photographers start to show up that don't know this secret.
Right, they
and
show up at 9 a.m.
Yeah, that's the cheapest crowd removal tool, is just an alarm clock. Get there early. You're going to have cleaner compositions, fewer tourists, softer light.
Yep.
Everything's going to be better. You can use your tripod easier in the morning. You're not as crowded. The streets are quiet. The other thing in the morning that I like is a lot of times you'll have like freshly cleaned streets, because like street sweepers and stuff. And they also have water. Yeah,
yep.
Wet, dew and stuff. You get reflections. So everything's better in the city when you're doing those type of shots in the morning. So you just got to get uncomfortable.
All right.
Alarm clock.
Next. So mine is another international travel thing. So let me see which one I want to give you here. I got a bunch of them.
This is a good question, though. Do you have to make sure that your data is turned on to force the currency exchange rate? Yes. I mean, you have to have the data on, but it won't. Like if your data was on and then you opened it up and then the data was off, it would only be off whatever that currency exchange
couple of
is
cents.
For like a day.
Yeah, it's not, and you could always refresh it when you go back to your hotel when you turn on.
Exactly.
But it's the exchange rates don't go like this. They go like this.
A few cents this way, a few cents that way.
That won't make a big difference. All right, I'm going to give you one. This is an interesting one. All right, international travel again. So you're flying into, I don't know, Amsterdam, we'll say, right? A very popular, it's kind of like Atlanta or New York is in the U.S., Amsterdam is in Europe. You're probably going through Amsterdam. Anyway, so I see a classic mistake, and I've been with people who insisted on making this mistake, and it kills you. When you come out of the plane on an international trip, your first stop is customs. You're going to customs. The line at customs can either be fairly quick, which is not usually the case, or very, very long. I've been in customs for over 2 hours just waiting to get up to the desk. A lot of times, and this is weird, this has happened to me, probably happened to you too, you will see rows of electronic things to check you in real quick, and they're never open. I don't know what it is. They're there, they seem to be working, but there's no one there, and there's a rope, and you can't go do it. So you could wait 2 hours. Here's where you can get really trashed. Think about this. Your plane going to Europe is holding 300 and something people, right? Or South America, wherever you're going. Hundreds of people. When you get off before you land, hear me out. Go to the restroom on the plane 30 minutes before you land. I see people come out of the plane, and right there when you get off, there's a restroom. You go in that restroom, and hundreds of people are getting in line in front of you. You might be the only flight that landed. Or might be yours and another one 5 minutes later. You're in the restroom, hundreds of people are now in front of you. You do not want to go to the restroom when you get off that plane. Go straight to customs. You will literally beat hundreds, and there could be 1 or 2 more flights where all of a sudden you'd have had a 10-minute wait.
They tend to stack them.
They do stack them.
Yeah, they stack them like airlines.
You could have had a 10-minute wait, and now you have an hour and a half wait. Do not. I've been with people that are like, oh, I have to go to the restroom. We're like, no, I told you to go before we land.
Yep.
That's a huge one. Do not make that mistake. Kuna?
That's a good one. All right, my next one. Separate the vacation from your photos. And what I mean by this is a lot of times when we'll go on tours. And we'll go on, even we could say cruises too. This is another one. They just go at the wrong times. Tours are always at the wrong times. They're always in the bad light. Cruises never come into port early. They never get the great light. And half of photography is the light, right? So what you got to do as a photographer is you need to stack on the back of your vacation a day or two where you can just do photo assignments, where you can do photography. And what's great about doing it on the backside is you can take those tours and you'll know exactly where to go. You'll know what locations were worth revisiting, where the light came from.
Yep.
If there's scaffolding up, maybe I'll skip that location because it's not really good right now. The best camera positions, what time I actually need to go to return. You're going to have all that stuff. So the tour and the cruise, it tells you where to go. But then your photo assignment or your photography day that you have on the backside lets you go execute it.
Yeah.
So don't try to mix these things. And I see so many, and we see that when we do those photo critiques, right? Where people will submit images that were like, this is okay, it's good, but it would have been better and better light.
Yeah, you shot it.
And then they say immediately,
afternoon.
they say in the comments, well, I was on a tour, and that's the time it went. I was on a cruise, and that's the earliest we could get there. And it's like, well, you just have to, as a photographer, adjust that schedule a little bit.
Here's what I would consider, because I 100% agree with what Erik just said, but you might consider this. You're going to go on a tour. Let's say it's you and your wife and another couple, and you're all going to go on this tour, and you're on a cruise liner, or maybe you flew to that town and you're going to buy a tour. You were much better off to get a private driver. Just hire a driver, like an Uber driver, and you can literally have an Uber take you to breakfast or whatever and say, hey, what would it cost me to rent you for the day? You'll be shocked at how little it'll be. It'll probably be less than the 4 of you. And just go to the same itinerary the tour did. That way you can go where you want, you can get in and out. If it's overcast and there's decent light, you can go someplace and shoot. You can stay out later than the other tour. I would rather start my tour either very early in the morning or very late in the day, because the middle of the day is no man's land for good travel photography.
Yes.
So anywhere from like 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon is kind of
Forget it.
Well, I'll give
Unless
you
you're going to the
example.
slot canyons and you need beams of light coming in.
Beams of light.
That's about the only one that I'm like, that's
and you're
middle of the
there
day.
in April.
Yeah.
So when I do my photography workshops, do you know that during the day I do a 5-hour, Erik knows.
Yes.
We do a 5-hour break, a siesta, in the middle of the day, where we're not doing anything. And that is number one, the light's terrible.
It's intentional.
But number 2 is they can catch up on sleep, they can do some light shoplifting, they can do whatever they want while there's no good photography to be made. Then we go back out again late in the day and at sunset. Okay, I got a tip. Another international one.
All right.
I'm going to give you the secret. It's not a secret. It is kind of known, but a lot of people don't know it. I'm going to give you the how to avoid jet lag 100%. Coming and going. How to avoid it. And if you do this, you won't have jet lag. I never have jet lag. Here's why. I follow the rule I'm about to tell you. If you fly, let's just say you're flying to Germany. So you fly from Tampa to Germany, and you get there at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Which would be like the middle of the night here.
Yeah. You have to do one of 2 things. You cannot go to bed until it's bedtime in Germany. Now you're going to be like, Scott, I'm going to get off that plane. I'm going to be exhausted. If you're really, really exhausted, you have to do this thing, and it takes a lot of discipline, but you got to do it, and it'll make your whole trip fantastic. So let's say that you land at 10 and you get to the airport and you get to your hotel and it's noon and your hotel room says, yeah, we can check you in, here you go. You can sleep for 2 hours. and make sure it's a little over 2 hours because you want to get into REM sleep and all. Go over 2 hours. But when your alarm goes off, you have got to get up. Because bedtime, that's a nap. You took a 2-hour nap. Bedtime is like 10 o'clock in Germany. You have to stay up and go to bed at the time they go to bed in that country. Now, picture you go to bed at 10 o'clock. You wake up in the morning at 8 or 9. You're on their schedule. That's it. You're ready to go. Same thing coming home. When you get home, you go to bed at whatever time it goes to bed. Like for me, I go to bed whatever time it is in Tampa. If I get home at 2 in the afternoon, I don't go, gosh, I'm exhausted because it's 10 at night. Nope. I don't go to sleep until it is 10 o'clock at night here in Tampa. If you just keep that rule in mind, there's 2 rules. Rule number 1, I'm going to bed at the time of the place where I'm at. And number 2 is if I have to take a nap, if I just can't go on, it's 2 hours, and that's it. And you're going to hit the alarm. And people get screwed. What they do is they'll sleep for 2 hours, the alarm goes off, they hit snooze, and they wind up sleeping for 8 hours. They wake up at 3 in the morning, they're wide awake, and their whole trip is screwed. They're tired every day. It takes them 3 or 4 days to catch up. Don't fall for that trick. I gave you 2 things. I promise you, your jet lag will go away.
Awesome.
All right, you want to give one and then we'll break?
Well, we got a break.
Oh, we're doing break first?
We can take a break. Or I could do the next one.
Do the next one.
All right. So this one's a good one, right? So what I say is you need to find the magic minute when the light balances, right? When you're traveling, right? And what you'll say is like people will say, well, I'm going out for golden hour or blue hour. The reality is, as we know, that hour is really a minute. There is a minute when everything kind of coalesces, when everything comes together. And that's why we're going out, like when we go on workshops, we're getting to location early, we're getting set up, we're watching that light move, and then we are watching and waiting for everything to balance out. And this is one thing that I noticed, it's at sunset especially. Everybody's watching the sun. But you can tell the really great travel photographers because they're watching the light. And they're seeing what the light does to the city and the light does to the environment. And what you want to do is you want to balance. Like in a city, there's this perfect time when the lights come on, the light's still coming from the sun, and everything, like the city glow's happening, but you still get color in the sky. But it really happens in like this, like, and maybe it's not a minute, but it is a really, you got to start thinking in minutes, not hours. You don't have this big amount of time. You've got this small window of time that you're preparing for.
I think I know why people do that. Because we use the word sunset.
Yes.
When you use the word sunset, they're thinking sun. And they're thinking, I'm supposed to shoot the setting sun. That's not what you're there. What you're there for is you're there to be there in the great light.
It's the balance of light too.
You're trying to find that beautiful light, not beautiful sun. Now, occasionally you will put the sun in the shot, right? I mean, that does happen. Yes. But you're not there to capture the sun. So I think we have to come up and use a different word. Instead of saying shoot at sunset, it's got to be shoot at to dusk, or
it's actually after the sun sets at the really good light.
Blue hour,
but,
which is
but
not
there is,
an
and
hour.
I'm not saying that you can't do that. Right. You can do that. But the one thing I think also to realize is like the direction of the sun. Like a lot of times, if you're shooting into the sun, what happens to your scene? It's all backlit. It's dark. You get the color, but it's just all dark. Sometimes the light over here, 45 to 90 degrees from where the sun's setting, that's the beautiful light, right? But anyways, like that's what we're saying. Like when we do a travel photography workshop, you'll see us. We arrive during the daylight, and you know what that helps us to do? To solve the composition. We're finding the composition. We're seeing, and I've got apps like Photo Pills, so I know where the sun's going to set, and I know where stuff's going to. I'm locking down the composition, and then I'm finding the transition point. And I'm just waiting for that moment. And if the light's good, it will all come together. And there's going to be like this 5 minutes where you're shooting like really mad because everything's working.
Yep.
Like it happened to us in New York City. We had planned out something with like the sun setting and the light beams coming into the city and reflecting back to us.
We're in
Jersey. And like there was like 10 minutes there where everybody was going nuts.
Yep.
And then it goes away.
And it goes away fast.
And then it goes away. But that's what you're preparing for a few minutes, and it's not an hour thing. And I'll have another tip later, I think, that'll help you out with maximizing that light.
All right. Hey, Doug says he loves my shirt. And then Paula says, what's on your shirt? So this is the guy from Vault-Tec from Fallout. So Fallout is a video game and also a very good TV show. And there's this company that is kind of like Amazon in that it makes everything and runs everything and all. And this is kind of the Vault boy, the Vault-Tec boy. That's their trivia for the day. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have Dylan Kotecki. He's going to be joining us. We're going to look at some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we got lots more tips. And Dylan's going to have a tip for you on travel and all that stuff coming up right after the break. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hello everybody, this is Nikon Ambassador Hilmar Smith and I'm here at KelbyOne and I just finished recording my latest class on how to run a professional portrait shoot without a big crew. I'm going to be talking about all the things that you need to know. So it's preparation, it's gear choices, it's client direction, it's production flow, it's troubleshooting, how to manage absolutely everything and everything that you need to know to get your photography career going without the need of having many people join you. You can do all of this by yourself. Just follow me and check out my new class at KelbyOne.
Look, if you ever wanted to get into lighting and you're like, I don't know, it seems complicated, it seems hard, if I got a course for you, it's on continuous lighting. And continuous lighting today is phenomenal. The technology has changed, everything's been updated, and continuous lights are so bright, you can do so much with them, and it takes all the fear and all the doubt away. I'm going to take you through the whole thing from beginning to end. You're going to see every single step. And when I'm done with this class, there is no way you will not be able to make beautiful portraits using continuous light on location, anywhere you want. We're using a battery powered system. It's going to be awesome. You're going to do great with it. And it's exclusively here at KelbyOne.
Hey, we're back, Scott and Erik, and we got some shout-outs real quick.
Yeah,
who's watching
Stu's
today?
joining us from Long Island. Hey, Stu.
Stu!
Tina saying hi from Oregon. Anders saying hi from Sweden. Paula saying hi from Orlando. Doug saying hi from Iowa. CJK saying hi from Maine. Mary saying hi from Reno. Ned saying hi from Auckland, New Zealand. And then from Ohio is user LE5QU4FP8.
That's a good username. I like that.
And then Jack K saying hi from Princeton. Chuck M saying hi from the Florida Space Coast. Steve saying hi from Panama City Beach. Cindy saying hi from Louisiana. Valerie saying hi from Niagara Falls. Marcus saying hi from Germany. And asking about the Worldwide Photo Walk. That's coming up soon, towards the end of this month. So we'll be having some stuff on the photo walk. Jenny saying hi from Scotland. Dave saying hi from the UK. Scott saying hi from...
David, you notice he skipped over the name?
Oh, yeah.
Worcestershire?
Yeah.
No, it's not Shire. Worcester. It's not Shire.
Exactly. And then June
That's
saying
what it
hi
is.
from sunny
The
St.
Worcester
Pete,
part's right.
Florida.
It's not Shire, though. Shire's how we
Worcestershire?
say it in English. Sure. Yeah, Worcestershire.
Yeah.
There we go. People from all over. Hey, glad to have you guys here.
Yeah.
All right, so we have standing by all the way from somewhere in an undisclosed location in Portland. Dylan, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
You might recognize Dylan from my one-on-one podcast. So every month I do a podcast, and Dylan is often on the show. And he was at our People Photography Conference as well and did a very, very cool class. And so anyway, so Dylan, what's going on, man?
Not much. It's nice and cool in Oregon today, or in Portland at least, and the smoke's gone.
Oh yeah,
so.
here too. It's just great. It's
we've got some gnarly wildfire smoke, so it's cleared up. So it's
that's
been
good.
nice out.
All right. So Dylan, when you're not surfing, I told him before. I said you got the surfer hair, man. Just get your board and go out in that freezing cold.
Oh boy.
The Oregon water. No, about every 2 years I get my hair a little longer. Just try it out. See if it looks any better. It never really does. But.
Don't stop until you're in Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dylan, tell me what's new. You got some stuff to show us? You got some cool stuff?
Yeah, I was just going to show, you had a new class or course
I do.
on Photo RAW MAX, and so I just wanted to show 3 of my new favorite features. Essentially, they're filters, but when it comes to editing, I like to get a little bit more creative, and coming from a more, you could say, graphic design background, I really enjoy just getting a lot more creative when it comes to the edits. I love a good natural looking landscape, but playing around with motion filters or double exposures is really fun to me. And in Photo RAW MAX 2026, there's 3 new filters that make it really easy to get creative and also just enhance your lighting in scenes that may be a little bit backlit, or you want to enhance either the foreground or background independently of one another.
Nice.
So let's talk about the first one of my favorites. Let's talk about motion. So especially when you're photographing, sports, I love skating, I love snowboarding. I don't really surf as much as it would look like with the hair. But I do love adding in a bit of motion into these scenes. And one thing you can emulate is that panning motion, where you're photographing something, you pan across the scene, you get the subject nice and still and in focus, and then you get a little bit of a motion blur. And so in Photo RAW MAX 2026, if you go into Effects, you add a filter. We have all of these creative filters. There's essentially just this creative column here with tons of creative filters you can add. But there's this one specifically for motion. You just click on it. Now, when you add it, it's not going to actually mask out the subject, but to make it really easy to do that, you can just head down to this Protect section and just click on Protect. It's automatically going to find the subject, ensure that he's nice and in focus, and then you can play around with the motion. So if you want that panning effect, you can get more of a pan. You can modify the angle as well. So you can see how he's sort of moving up in the wave. You can angle that to give it that feel. Another thing you can do is you can also add in zooms or twists. Now, for this particular photograph, I'm a big fan of just the panning action. But if you wanted to get, again, a bit more creative, add in your own unique style into the image, you could use something like a zoom, which it does actually look pretty cool, especially
I like that.
Yeah, if you're designing, a graphic, or you want to add in a photo into your own specific type of style, I think that zoom's really fun. You could play around with the amount, make it a lot more intense. And then there is twist as well. Not a big fan of the twist one, but there's cases you could use it.
It might have its place in the right photo.
Yeah, exactly.
On the right photo, yeah.
Exactly. Just wanted to mention it, though. But I think pan and zoom are really fun for this one, especially the panning one. I think it just gives it a fun, movement vibe to it. And then you could also go in here and just use random, which is just going to grab settings and just randomize them for you. And you can just click on them and just see, if you're not familiar with using it, just play around with that and see if something comes up. Yeah. Another one that I like to use, I was talking about earlier, is double exposures. And so one thing I want to mention too, when it comes to double exposures, just like that last photo when I was using the twist option, not every photo deserves a specific filter or a specific effect. But these types of images, sort of large tonal background, high contrast portraits, they work great for double exposure stuff. And so in Edit here, if we go into Effects, just add a filter, and there's its own dedicated filter for that. So we just click on double exposure. Now, with double exposure, it's automatically going to mask the subject for you. So we go down here to masking. I like to turn this off because I like that classic sort of in-camera double exposure feel. So I typically go down, I'll choose none for masking, and then I'll go to mode. And the mode that I use is screen, because that's just sort of the, standard, if you will, for double exposures. And then I like to turn the opacity all the way up because I like it quite intense. But now, with those two settings out of the way, you can just go in here to all these categories, and there's a bunch built in. You can import your own custom images as well. And you can just navigate through these and find things that work really well. I really like the concert one for her, because it looks like she's dancing anyway. You get some really cool creative looks. Yeah, you get some really cool creative looks. And the ability to import your own is really fun. So if you have specific images that you know would work well on these types of photos, you can import your own. With any of these categories, if you click on one, so ocean's kind of fun, you can go in here and just find certain images that lend themselves well to these types of photographs. If you're going more like artsy or even like movie poster-esque, maybe something like that. These remind me, I don't know if you guys watched True Detective when it was big back in the day, but the intro scene is a bunch of double exposures.
I watched the one with Jodie Foster.
Oh, really? I didn't. That's the only one I didn't watch.
That's fantastic.
I heard it was really good.
I watched some of the other ones, but the Jodie Foster one is the one. I'm telling you, dude, there's some twists and turns that happen in that season that you will not see coming.
I need to check it out.
But it also makes you think, people that live in that environment, it's so horrible. So it takes place in like nowhere, Alaska.
Yeah.
It's like freezing and dark.
It's freezing and dark. It's the most depressing thing, but I'm telling you what, that Jodie Foster one, you got to watch it.
Yeah. I'm down.
There's your weekend right there.
Yeah,
right, there you go.
Thanks for the rec. Yeah, I'm so down. But yeah, I just, I love playing around with this type of stuff, just seeing what looks good. And the great thing about Photo RAW is that everything's non-destructive. So if something doesn't work
that
or you
looks
don't...
good. That one right there looks real good.
Cool.
Yeah, something like that, And it's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people just like natural stuff.
Can you change the blend mode from that?
Yeah, you can modify it to any blend mode you want.
Let's see some blend modes with that.
I mean, those are really cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Oh, that is kind of cool. I've been sleeping on this filter. I feel bad now. I feel like I've been missing out.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
That's very cool. What's terrible is in one of my Photoshop books, I show how to do that manually, and it's a pain in the butt.
It's a pain, yeah.
It's kind of a pain, yeah.
This is much better.
It makes it really easy. And you can modify, if you do something like this where you aren't seeing the actual background, you can modify, the position of it to see where you want it. You can modify, flip it, rotate it, adjust the tone and color, things like that. So you can really get pretty in-depth with the actual double exposure itself.
Yeah, it reminds me. The controls remind me of the Sky AI.
Similar vibe to that for sure. Yeah. And then the last one I wanted to show, which I use quite a bit, and we'll do 2 instances of this because there's depth lighting and depth masking.
Oh, hey, before you go on, somebody's asking, Cammy's asking, where was that protect button where you?
So that was with the surfer.
You were saying how to protect him.
Yeah, we'll go to effects, we'll add in motion, and it's just right at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Right at the very bottom there. And then if this is rolled up, just click on it. You can roll that open and then enable it there.
Dylan, I know that UI is not your thing. And I know the guy, I can call and complain about it.
Yeah.
But with these tabs, it wouldn't hurt to have a little down arrow. See how you have the word subject and there's a down arrow to let you know there's more there, right?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
There should be a little.
That's a good idea.
Why isn't there like I'm gonna have to call Dan and go, Dan.
He'd be the one.
Hey, I did get something added, right? In AI resize AI.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, I'm having to type in 200% or 300%.
You got the 2x.
Yeah. I said, Dan, can we just get buttons 2x, 3x, 4x, 8x? He's like, yeah. And it was in the next version.
Yeah. I only use those too. I never like.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I did a video literally 2 days ago where I show using resize, and I'm like, just use 4x or 8x or whatever you want. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's so funny.
All right.
Yeah, he listens. Dan listens.
No, I know. I love Dan.
Yeah, I love Dan too.
You know, like a man loves Vermont. Anyway, that's an old line from Cheers. It's before your time. You weren't even born. Anyway, you got one more thing, right?
Yeah, one more.
One more thing. Not
And a
it won't
travel
be too
tip.
long either.
All right.
Yeah, and a couple travel tips. It won't be long. So with images like this too, especially if you're, you have a kind of a backlit scene behind the person, and then the subject is a little bit dark. If you were to just illuminate the subject, it might look a little awkward or off. And so there's this new feature called depth lighting. So essentially targets the areas closest to your camera, and then it falls off into the background. So if we go into effects, and there's two ways to do this, but if we go into effects, we'll add a filter, and there's a dedicated filter for this. So there's depth lighting. We just click on that. It's automatically going to create a mask for you for this, the depth within the scene. And pro tip here, before you even do anything with the brightness or anything like that, go down to the depth slider here. And if you hold down Option and pull this back and forth, you can see where that depth falls off within the mask. So you can bring it back or forward or whatever you want. And then now, if you want your foreground illuminated, you could just pull up on that to get more light in your foreground rather than having to target a specific subject or something like that. You could also darken or illuminate the background as well. So if I wanted the background a bit darker to push focus onto him, you can do that really easily with just one filter. And so, one filter.
So I used to use this to apply fog. So I would do fog,
that's a
and
good
then
idea.
I would do the depth, but it wasn't its own filter like this.
Yeah.
I had to kind of go and finagle things and got it done. But I think some great fog would be great with this.
Yeah,
Now,
totally.
You have a fog filter, don't you?
There is, yeah.
So how do you get the depth thing and then apply the fog?
Yeah, so go to your add filters, we'll go to weather. We'll just click on these styles here. We'll just go to this texture. Where's fog? Let's use fog. Or we can just add fog right there. I'll pull up on the amounts, make it really strong. Just make it. Let's see here. Where did I have it before?
Yeah,
I'll just make it
bottom
original.
2/3.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So, well, do we want the fog in the background probably?
Yeah, probably. But
let's do the
that's the
background.
depth map should probably do it though. That's where I'm thinking the depth map.
So let's
will
let's do top third slow. So then we're gonna go into our masking, and we're gonna create up in our masking. We'll just use a depth mask. So now, obviously, the fog is applied to him, so we just need to invert that. So that's in the background. So now we modify the distance, pull it in the back.
There you go.
Then we get a little fog back there. It does look a little. Some of these masks are so precise too, though. I guess you could go in and feather this to make it a little bit less defined.
That actually looks, that looks better.
Yeah.
A lot of feather.
Yeah, a lot of feathering. Big fan of feathering. Some people, like their masks really, really detailed, but I feel like most of the time you want it a bit feathered. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to show for Photo RAW MAX features that I really enjoy using.
Hey, those are great.
Yeah,
Those
that's
are-
awesome.
I love those. Those are fantastic. All right, you have some travel tips?
Yeah. So one for sort of, I guess, each of you, one non-photography related and one photography related. So let's start with the photography related one, and this sort of piggybacks on your thing. We were talking about having the cab driver for the day. And my thing would be just ask for recommendations. There's so many apps out there you could find photography spots and things like that, but just locals know what's there and what looks great and what you can photograph really easily, or what. And so I think recommendations, asking for recommendations, and not even photography, but you could ask for recommendations at a restaurant, or if you can't read the menu, and so just seeking out local advice, I think, is the biggest thing for that type of, getting the best shots, or getting the best food, or things like that, is what I've learned.
No, I agree. Totally agree. And you had a photo one?
Yeah. Well, that'd be the photo one. Non-photo one would be avoid the all-inclusive resort.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been to one.
I've never been to one either, and I don't want to go to one. It was just, well, no, I have been to one. I've been to one time in Mexico, and it was just a beach and a bar, and I mean that's cool, but you're not seeing any of the city. You're not seeing any of the the nightlife or the people or the great photo spots.
Yeah, you're there to drink.
You're there. You're there just eat and drink and chill on a beach, and like I could do that, on the Oregon coast if I wanted to. I mean, it's not gonna be the greatest beach, but you know what I mean. And so I'm gonna at all costs avoid the all-inclusive resort. And I'm gonna try to
go to Clearwater Beach right over there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. Florida. You guys have, I'm sure, tons and tons of beaches.
Some of
Yeah,
the
and
top
also
beaches,
down in the
yeah.
Bahamas, there's all kinds of them, and
Yeah, and
all
so-
through the Caribbean, there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people could do that in their home state, and so it's just avoid that. If you're going to Mexico, go seek out Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotcha.
Mexico's
I gotcha.
a fascinating
Yeah,
country.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dylan, thank you so much for joining us today. Hey,
Of
where can
course.
people find you? You're a great photographer in your own right, besides being an excellent educator. But
Thanks, man.
you're a great photographer. Where can people follow you on like Instagram?
It's just at Dylan DYLAN .Koteki KOTECKI.
All right, fantastic. Go follow him right now while you're thinking about it. He's got great stuff. All right,
Thanks,
Dylan,
man.
thanks very much. And we're going to take a short break here. And we come back, we got more travel tips, so stick around right here on The Grid. The Grid.
My name is Sapna Reddy. I'm a nature and landscape photographer, and I'm very excited to share my very first Kelby class with you. This class is focused on shooting waterfalls. We will be covering the gear that we need to use, including different kinds of filters, shooting conditions that are ideal for waterfall photography, exposure bracketing, focus bracketing, as well as achieving the correct shutter speed for modulating the texture of the waterfall, which will make it a truly compelling image. This is a comprehensive class which will cover every step of shooting waterfalls, and at the end of it, you will be an expert. So come join me on my latest class at KelbyOne.com.
Hey guys, Frank Dorhoff here. Welcome in our studio in the Netherlands, and welcome to a new class on KelbyOne. Do you ever wonder, how can we get more creative with our photography? Are you a little bit afraid when you look at those websites and you can see all those props and they are pretty expensive and you don't know what to buy? Why not start with the stuff that you already have? Why not get some, let's say, emergency blankets, or maybe get a torch? If the light is too bright or too large, use a little bit of piece of cardboard. You will find out that in this class, you will look at your photography equipment in a totally different way. There are no more excuses. I don't have expensive gear. I don't have expensive backdrops. After this class, you will make the best of even an emergency blanket. Join me on this new class on KelbyOne to create great images with cheap materials that you can find in and around your house. And you probably already have a load of them that I'm going to show you in this class. See you online.
Hey-o, we're
All right,
back.
We're back. Those good tips.
Yeah, and we also got a tip from Dalton Ham, who's here with us in the studio. He was mentioning, and I don't know how I missed it, Apple AirTags. The little AirTags that tell you where something is. You drop one in a hidden place in your luggage, and then you can go and actually argue with the staff. Dalton was telling us how he
Yeah.
he
definitely.
had a lost bag, And they said, "Oh, it's not here." And he's like looking at his phone and goes, "It's here in the airport." And they went back and they, sure enough, let him right. Oh, there it is, you know. And he knew it was there. He could see it on his app. Apple AirTags, I have them on all my stuff.
Me
I have
too.
them on all my stuff, in my camera strap. In my camera strap, the actual strap itself, which is usually connected to my camera, there's one in there. I've got one in my big luggage. And you can name them so you know exactly what you're going to do there. All right. So there's that. Okay, I got a couple. We're running out of time. Well, we got 15 minutes, but all right, I got one for you. When you go to international travel, I'm the international travel guy, apparently.
Yes.
All right. So when you're traveling and you want to get money, you want to get, dollars in that currency, you can go to an ATM. A lot of people don't realize that your ATM almost always works overseas. So you can go and you're in London, you're in Switzerland, whatever, you walk up to an ATM and you can get money out. That's kind of the first part of the tip. The second part of the tip is do not go to any ATM that is not attached to a bank. So you want to walk up there and see Deutsche Bank and you go to their ATM. If you go to one of the ATMs that you'll see around town that are just called, quick ATM or something, they are going to hose you. You're going to pay huge fees. You're going to have really high, unadvantageous
Exchange rate.
Exchange rate's going to be against you. Like you're going to spend a ridiculous amount of money. So don't do it. Do not do it. Go to a bank ATM. You'll get the best rate. It's safe. All that stuff. Make sure it has a bank name out front. All right, that's one.
Yep.
Sharon asked, do the AirTags work with Android phones? I don't believe that AirTags do.
Now,
but
Google has their own
right,
side, and
there's
Samsung has their own side.
There's a whole nother, they have their own separate things that work just like that.
Yeah.
So Sharon, do that. Doug says, a travel ticket is to look on KelbyOne and see if there's a class on the city you're traveling to. Thank you, Doug. So Doug mentioned that, and guys, we have so many courses that I've done a bunch of them, and Jefferson Graham has done the ones here in the United States. I've done international cities all over.
Other instructors do them as well.
We have other instructors doing them now.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a photo guide to that city, right? So here you can see. Scroll down a little.
Well, we also have, if you're traveling to national parks as well, we've got that. We've got them for cities.
There's a
kind
photographer's guide to Vegas. I've done London. I've done Venice.
Rome.
I've done Rome. I've done, there's a photographer's guide to Boston. There's San Diego. I did Tuscany.
Yeah, there's tons of them. We can sit here. We're going to keep on going forever.
Yeah, there's Prague. And
So the point is, go there, see what, there's probably a city. If it's a major city, it's probably up there.
All right, I got another one. You know what's terrible? There's Santorini. There's Lisbon. Okay, so you go to another country. You go to use your credit card, it gets denied. Because the credit card company thinks it's fraud. All of a sudden, every charge you have is in Tampa, Florida, and then all of a sudden you're in Stad. And they're like, nope, we're not approving that. And it gets turned down. Here's how you avoid that. When you land in Stad, I'm just picking a, you land in London, buy anything in the airport with your credit card. You buy anything, go buy a candy bar, go buy a cup of coffee, whatever, then they know, they flew to London. And then you won't get turned down.
Does help. Yes.
All right. And I have one more, and then I'm going to give you one. All right. Here's the other thing. If your flight gets canceled, now you can do this domestically or internationally. If your flight gets canceled, picture this. What happens? Everybody goes to the rebooking desk, and there's 150 people in the rebooking desk, right? There's this long line of people all trying to get, and they're going to get a seat before you, and their site's, it's a mess. Here's the trick, and it works like a charm because I've done it a number of times when I've had a cancellation. And some people will tell you, call on the phone. Yep, that works, but it's not as good as going to the club, the lounge for your place. You go to the Delta Lounge. You know how many people are in line at the Delta Lounge? Nobody, or one person. They have a ticket office right there. They have a desk that can put you on a new flight. So if you have access to a lounge, now not a Capital One lounge, it would have to be your airline's lounge.
Yeah.
You can also pay for a day pass to go to your line. So if you're thinking, there's 100 people in line downstairs for my canceled flight, I could pay $45 and get unlimited food and drinks and liquor and everything and get my on that new flight right now, might be worth it. But anyway, the lounge is the move when your flight gets canceled. If you can get into your lounge for your thing, whew, it's great. And by the way, there's all kinds of American Express cards for Delta, at least, that will get you in to their lounge. But also, with the American Express card, you can get this. What's it called? It's a lounge pass. Here, hold on. I have my lounge pass right here. I'm lounging. Erik, may I tell you? Hold on. I must look in my wallet for my lounge pass. It is called Priority Pass. So Priority Pass will get you into 1 billion lounges. Now, you'll get you in the lounges, you get the food and all that, but there is no Delta ticket test.
Yes.
That's just for fun.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. K.
I got a bunch of others too. Let's see what we got here. This one, travel photographers. Great travel photographers usually don't run out of great subjects. They run out of great light when moving between subjects. What I mean by this is you need to, when you're planning out your shoots, protect one anchor shot that you're going after and one backup shot, and make sure the distance between those two locations isn't so far that you're going to be battling for great light, right? Because I've seen a lot of photographers do this, where they'll pick a location and then they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to these 3 locations at sunset. But this is 20 minutes away and this is 30 minutes away. Yeah. And it's like, you're never going to be able to do that. So I never really struggle with locations. I struggle with the light. So you want to plan out. So my best thing with that is, like when you're going to a city, make sure that you're centrally located when you start that shoot that night, where you can pop over to other locations as your backup and your primary. Or even when you're staying in a city, make sure you're not staying so far away that it's going to take you a long time to get to your shooting location, a long time to get back, because it's going to discourage you from shooting. So that's what I'm saying is, like, you definitely want to make sure that you're within walking distance of your second location. You also want to check, are these places going to be open? Is there any construction? That's where scouting the location before is very, and then local photography rules, all that good stuff. Because the worst thing to do when you're traveling is to show up and then have to leave a location early when the great light's happening, because you're like, well, yeah, but I got to get to these other 2 or 3 locations. Yeah. Go after the great light. Yeah, so don't try to pack in too much. So that's what we don't run out of subjects. We run out of great light. So make sure you manage the distance between your locations.
Yep. No, that's a great one.
Yeah.
All right, I'll throw you another one. Let's see. How about this? Don't do a cruise if you're going to do photography.
Yeah.
If your goal is to shoot great photos, do not think a cruise is going to get you that. As Erik said earlier, it's going to leave late. It's going to come back before sunset. You know, they want to get you back for dinner on the boat and then they leave. I'm telling you, I love cruises. Don't get me wrong. I love them. Absolutely love them. I've been on river cruises. I've been on ocean. I went on a big cruise with my wife last year together. We had a wonderful cruise. I don't even take your big camera. Just take your phone and enjoy your vacation. A cruise is a vacation. It's not a photo journey, and you're going to be disappointed with what you get because you're going to be shooting in crappy light. Do you notice how many of Mr. Kuna's tips have to do with light? That's how important it is for travel photography. Yep. Travel photography is like a version of landscape photography. If you're not indoors, it's going to be about the great light.
So next one, don't sleep on bad weather. Right? Yeah. We go and we say, you got to treat bad weather as sometimes it's going to actually be an upgrade. It's not going to be a downgrade. Now, it might be more uncomfortable if you have bad weather, but I'm telling you, rain produces reflections, rich colors in cities, all that good stuff. Wet streets, neon and highlights come out like crazy. Fog hides clutter. You know, it simplifies the scene. So we're like, oh, we can't go shoot, but it could be really cool if you have fog. Snow changes the atmosphere. Storm clouds add tension and scale to your scene. So don't just go like, I need to have this perfect sunset. I need to have the perfect conditions. Weather can actually be an upgrade not a downgrade.
Yeah, and if it's raining in a city, downtown with, like Erik
Like
said,
if you're
the
in
lights
Tokyo and it rains, you got a
and
gift.
You're
got a
dying
gift.
for it to be raining.
Yes.
All right, Mark's got a comment here.
Yeah, Mark's saying from Scott Kelby, he said, make a shot list before you go.
All right, so I'm heading to Belgium in about a month, doing a workshop. I already have my shot list. I already pretty much know where I'm going. I know where I'm going in the morning locations, the afternoon and early evening locations. I have everything mapped out, so when I get there, I know right where I'm going. When Erik and I do a workshop, we show up 2 to 3 days early, and we go to every place on our shot list, right? So it's not like, well, what should we do now? You do all your research beforehand. You have your shot list. Thank you, Mark. You keep that with you, and you know where you're going. Hey, speaking of that, this doesn't happen very often, but it did happen. I had a cancellation this week. So somebody had to cancel for my Belgium workshop. So it is in about a month from now. It starts on the 7th, so it's not quite a month, but it starts, not the 7th, I'm sorry. It starts on the 11th. The 11th, is that right? The 11th? Yeah, no, see, that says 7. I got to go look at the date. Oh, let's make sure it's the correct date. I think that's important.
I'm pretty sure that's the correct date because I know it's on the calendar.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah, it's the 7th through the 11th. So I got. Well, it's already sold out.
Yeah.
And they've already gotten their newsletters
Yes.
and stuff. They know
Right,
that,
right.
right? So it's already sold out. So here's the thing: it's been sold out for months. But if you want to go, send me an email, and I'll just give you my address because I would have to send you a private link. So it's S. Kelby, so it's my first initial and my last name, skelby@KelbyOne.com. And you can grab that last ticket, and in about a month, you and me, we're going to be in Brussels, we're going to be in Kent. These are like fairy tale cities in Europe. You know, and how I found out about Bruges, I never heard of Bruges before. My father went there, and when he came back from that trip, he said, this is the most beautiful place I've ever been. But it's what's right around it. Like, there's all this stuff around it. We're also taking a day trip to Brussels, Brussels is an amazing city. In fact, you'd fly in and out of Brussels. But anyway, love to have you grab that last seat if you would like to. So send me an email at skelby@KelbyOne.com, and I can send you a link to go sign up.
Awesome.
Oh, we got one other big event coming up.
Photoshop World.
Photoshop World, the biggest conference we do of the year. It's a full 3-day event. It's sponsored by our friends at Adobe. If you've ever wanted to learn Photoshop, you want to get really good at it, you're already a Photoshop user, you want to learn all the latest techniques, all the latest stuff, we have an incredible lineup of instructors, so many great classes, and you get the entire thing to stream on demand for an entire year after the conference. It's the biggest thing we do all year. Go to PhotoshopWorld.com. I was looking at Erik. I thought he was going to say something.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Photoshop.
Yeah, you should go there.
You should go there. Good.
And you should definitely do this. Go there today because the early bird discount expires tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
So
yeah.
Go there today.
Go there today and save like $200. So,
All right.
Anyway,
I got a couple more.
All right.
A couple
So,
more.
Yeah, I got a few more.
Couple
too.
more.
Go ahead.
Like, so this one's interesting. So reverse engineer the postcard, but then put your own twist on it, right? And what it is you want to take the postcard shot. So when you go to a location, literally go look at postcards that people would buy from that location. Look at Instagram pictures that people, you like, for example, you go to Paris, you go to the Eiffel Tower, you got to shoot it. Get that shot, right? So you earn that shot. But then what you want to do is say, okay, well, what did the postcard leave out? Or what could I add into the frame? So could I move a block over and put something into the frame with the landmark? Could I gain or lose elevation? Could I change my focal length? Could I put stuff, arches through it? That you don't always want to just get the postcard shot, but go get the secondary shot that you normally wouldn't see. And that leads into another one that I want to talk about is the 1 block away rule is what I'm calling it. There's an obvious viewpoint full of photographers usually when you go to a place that they all go there. And yes, you should get that shot, right? But I found that if I just go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, a little bit back, away from where they are, I usually can find something that I can put in the element that'll take that photo up a notch.
Hey, I'm going to show you
Right?
one. Let me grab
Yeah, I
mine
mean,
real
it's
quick.
things like archways, alleyways, cafe windows, train entrance, reflections, elevated platform. I put it like list foreground that provides context. You'll have it to where photographers will be in the one spot because that's where you can shoot this shot. And yes, you should get that shot, but don't sleep. Just say, can I go within a block of this location and get something totally different? So don't always just go to that spot and get the shot that everybody else gets.
Right.
Think, can I go and kind of just explore? Once you get the shot, start exploring to find that unique shot that tells your own story on the scene.
Nice. Hang on, I'm going to show you 2 examples of what Erik's talking about. I'm looking for the second one here so I can show you 2 because I already saw one I wasn't even thinking about. But where the heck, man, I shot a lot of shots this thing.
Yeah.
Not that. Not
But
that.
it happens all the time. Like Paris, for example, the Eiffel Tower, and I think maybe this is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like if you go off the streets, you can get like the buildings with the Eiffel Tower with it, rather than just the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
Well, you're starting to get there because that's what I was thinking I was
All right,
going after.
So, for example, here's one. If you can see my
Like I've seen a better shot of yours like that.
Yeah, I have one where you see the street and it's wet and all that, right? But that's one. And then the second one.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Right? So this is like from a
It's
different
not the
angle.
obvious shot, and you can get the other one, but these tell the story.
Yeah, and you can stand in front of
Yeah.
the Eiffel Tower and take the shot that everybody else takes, right?
Yep.
So, but there's, and I have other ones too as well. But anyway, that's a start. Hey, give me 1 second. I'll show you. I think the one that Erik's talking about.
Yep.
Which is where you can see the whole rest. It's the
And
same street.
While you're looking, I got tons
do
of them.
it.
So this is one. Stop automatically reaching for the ultra wide lens. A lot of times what will happen with an ultra wide lens, it'll make something look smaller. It'll push stuff away. In cities. It works great for like interiors and cathedrals, but I see a lot of people shooting with an ultra wide lens because they want to fit in so much, and they should sometimes grab a telephoto lens. This is why I know both of us love having a 24 to 240 when we're doing travel photography.
Yes.
Because at that point, I have the telephoto lens and I have the wide lens with me. And that's where a wide lens says, here's everything I'm seeing. A telephoto lens can say, here's what matters. Here's the thing that I want you to look at. So don't sleep on, just you grab the ultra wide lens, you sew the whole scene, but sometimes you want to have that compression and you want to have, architectural layers in your scene. You want like a distant monument like we're seeing here kind of put into the scene. And again, the other thing it does with a telephoto lens is you can remove visual clutter. You can kind of simplify the scene a little bit more. Here, well, that's a great shot right there.
Yeah, this is the Blue Hour shot from the same place.
Yeah.
But just a different angle. This is the exact same place, right? Same exact place, just this is the end of the street.
Yep.
The one you saw earlier was the same building on the left, but I'm zoomed in. So this is a wide angle. Erik's talking about lenses. This is a wide angle. And then the other one, look at the difference how the wide angle, this is just what he was talking about, how the wide angle pushes it away. You remember in my last shot, the Eiffel Tower looked like it was right there.
Yeah, but it's like way far away now. It's the same location.
Actually,
can you go to that? Can you go to that shot?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Let's put them side by side because that's exactly what I was just talking about. When you do a wide angle and you do the telephoto brings the monument like right into the frame, gives it scale. Where the wide angle's nice, and that's what we tend to gravitate towards. But I'm telling you, telephoto, that's something that people, and that's why if you want to become a better travel photographer, you know what you should get? 24 to 200, 24 to 240.
that's the
I'm telling you,
one.
because you always have the right lens on. You won't have that situation where you go, oh, I wish I could bring the monument closer to the city. Well, you have no problem with a 100 millimeters or 150 millimeters. You have no problem with that.
He speaketh the truth. All right, that's not the photo. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. All right, this is one. Give me a second to get the other one. Hold on. The other one was from 2015 or 2025. It was from my workshop the year before, And I actually found a better version of the other photo too. Hang on one second. It's Paris.
While you're looking for that, JBL or JLB photo saying another tip: don't dress like a tourist, dress like a local. Which can be a great tip if you don't want to be known, you know, and kind of like stand out. Well, that's also where another tip that I have there is that's where sometimes you don't want to carry a bunch of gear. When you carry a bunch of gear, you kind of put a target on yourself. The people know, oh, this is a photographer. And people actually get a little bit kind of like, they get camera shy when they've got like all this equipment and stuff and they see you. So you want to kind of like, that's where sometimes the best travel photos I do are done with the phone because people don't even know what you're shooting half the time.
All right, so here's the two photos again.
Yeah.
All right, so look how big the Eiffel Tower looks. Now this is...
It's the same location,
it's
right?
the same
street. Location.
And then here's the other one.
Yeah.
So it's the same building.
Telephoto.
Right? So this is wide angle and probably...
And there's a place for that.
It's my 24,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a place for that. But then that same lens will get that shot.
You can see it's the same building.
Yeah.
And look
you were
at
just
this
on the other
rooftop.
side. You were kind of like over,
yeah,
just
moved
zoomed
to the
in
left.
and then moved over.
Look, it's the same building here, same building here. It's all the same, but that's what the difference is. And that's what when we hear us talk about lens compression, right? It compresses the distance. A wide angle pushes it away.
Yep.
The compression, I mean, it looks like the Eiffel Tower's giant there, and here it looks like it's 2 miles away, which it probably was about a mile away.
Yeah.
But we took our whole group there, to shoot at dawn.
Yep.
After we shot a ballerina in front of the Eiffel Tower. And how many people were there in the morning when we went there, Erik, to take pictures in Paris of the Eiffel Tower?
Well, Mimo was with you.
No, I'm just asking how.
But I would say there'd be zero.
Yeah,
almost.
There were no photographers.
Maybe one.
There will always be a Chinese bride and a Chinese wedding photographer at every location.
Well, if you're in Paris, definitely.
No, Rome, everywhere.
If you're in Paris, it's almost guaranteed.
Does not matter.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're talking about that, though, I do want to show you one thing. Don't move, don't breathe, don't make a sound.
Yep.
Because I want to show you something from this workshop, which is...
I love those shots of there. Yeah, those shots.
Hang on, not that. It needs a crop or something. Crud.
Yeah, but that's an awesome shot. It's just the wrong. He doesn't have the final.
No, I have the final one here on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hey, while you're looking, I could throw out another one, right? This is for travel street photography, right?
Go.
So what really changed for travel street photography for me, and this is a Jay Maisel thing. Street photographer got easier when I was doing travel street photography, when I stopped chasing people and started waiting for the right person to enter the composition.
Right, that's
so
Jay Maisel.
Yeah, you find the composition, you find the light, you find the geometry, and then you wait for somebody to come into the scene, not follow people around to make a scene.
Yeah. Here's the shot I wanted to show you. This is taken at dawn, or just at, right around dawn. In Paris, I hired a ballerina. Where do you find a ballerina in Paris? Instagram.
Yeah.
What do you search for? Ballerina
in Paris.
Paris
location.
And she was wonderful. And we're out there in the morning at dawn shooting a ballerina.
And that was super early, right?
Super early.
Because you were there and
we're there at 5 in the morning, 5:45 or something.
Yeah,
but we were there plenty early.
Yeah.
We were there plenty early.
And that's where you just don't have any. Now, if you went on that same location at sunset, there's no way you could have got that shot. There would have been tourists everywhere. You would have been able to isolate. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Stu's got a good point. He says, be sure to convert your focal lengths if you have a crop sensor like I do. So when you have a crop sensor, when you have a full sensor, like if you have a 14 is very wide, ultra wide, but on a crop sensor, it's not as wide. So be sure, like you would get like a 10 for an ultra. In other words, on a crop sensor camera, you would have like a 10 millimeter, which would be equivalent to a 14 millimeter on a full frame.
It would be 15 to 16 metering. It's a 1.5 to 1.6 times whatever the millimeter is.
Cammy's asking, has Adobe fixed the issues with the latest Photoshop or Lightroom update? I don't have any issues. I have no idea. You have any issues?
No, I haven't had any issues.
I don't know. Now, Cammie,
Maybe like what issue? Yeah.
every time they release one, for whatever reason, there's a certain number of people who have an issue. They go to Adobe's site and they, hey, mine doesn't work and this is happening. So you can have 1 million people. Well, let's use the actual numbers. You can have 37 million people whose Photoshop works fine, and then there's 500 whose don't, and for whatever reason. And if you're one of those people, it's frustrating as hell.
And usually then when there is issues, there'll be those intermediate like releases they're not big releases. They'll say literally like bug fix or software update. They're just like a version, and that's what you just got to wait for, you know.
Yep. Hey, if you look at the shots that I have on my site here, you notice it's good light everywhere we go. There's no harsh light. They're not taking at dawn.
It's like I say, it's not the lack of, like, if the sun could just remain in certain places for longer periods of time, I would love travel photography even more, because then I would just be able to bounce between locations.
Hey, Robin says to Cammie, Robin's saying, hey, they fixed the color problem issue. I don't know what the color problem issue was, but I'm glad they fixed it. Always check and go to creativecloud.com and make sure there's not an update sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Because there might be. Hey guys, we've run way over.
Yes.
So let me just see if there was any last little things I could
keep on going. I got another episode.
Here's one for international travel. You know the date on your passport that it says your passport expires? Your passport expires actually 6 months before that. So you might ask, well, Scott, why do I have an expiration date on my passport that is not legitimate? It's because it's designed by the U.S. government. It's 6 months before the expiration date. You will not be able to travel if your passport. I know. I got burned with that with my daughter going to Tokyo.
Yeah, I've had people get burned with that.
That's number one. Number two, wherever you go internationally, if you're going, go online and get the program you want to get in is called the STEP program. It is the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. It basically lets the embassy in the country that you're going to know that you're coming. They have your phone number, they have your address, they know when you're coming, they know where you're going. If there was any reason they needed to contact you, an emergency, we need to evacuate the city, whatever it is, they're going to go to that list. If you're not on the list, they're not going to contact you. Number three, make sure that you buy supplemental insurance, because your insurance, let's say you got Aetna or United Healthcare or whatever, you get over to France and they're going to look at you like, sorry, it is possible, it's not probable, you could get maybe reimbursed when you get home. I would not chance that. For like a 7 to 8 day trip, it's about $125, and the thing you want to get is medical evacuation. So if you go someplace weird, you fall and you need surgery, and you're like, I don't want to get it, I don't want to get this surgery here in Belarus. They'll fly you back to the United States, and a flight from there, a medical flight taking you from one hospital to a hospital in the U.S. could be $250,000, and you'll be like, I'm so glad that I spent $125 on medical insurance. Lastly, or I'll give you two. Don't put your medicine, any medicine that you're taking. So for Erik's, situation, Viagra. No. Come on. No. Okay. No. Take any medicine with you. Do not pack it in your luggage. Carry it on the plane. And if you really want to be smart about it, do what my wife does. My wife takes an extra change of clothes on the in. Like she'll take an extra change of clothes, and she'll take a couple little things like a toothbrush and a couple things. Because figure it this way, you wind up in some place, right? And this happened to me. I went to London, none of my bags. Poor Erik has the worst story.
Yeah.
His bag never showed up.
10 days.
10 days.
It showed up when I got home the day after.
Yeah.
At my house.
And they kept saying, oh, it's going to be delivered tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be. And never got his bag. All right. But imagine, just think in your head, if I went to, I don't care, we'll just say Paris. I went to Paris and my bags were lost. What do I do that night? Like, what do I do? Yeah, you're going to spend your day in Paris that you were going to be going to museums and stuff, looking for clothes, looking for toothbrush and floss and whatever, and now you're going to a pharmacy and you're calling back home and trying to figure out what is the name of the medicine that I take in America, in France. Don't chance all that stuff. Put it in your carry-on. Lastly, Uber. there's Uber almost everywhere now. And if like in almost every country you can find Uber. Some countries they didn't want Uber, right? The local taxis, they didn't want Uber and stuff, right? So what they do is you go to the Uber app and you can hire Uber, but it also says taxi right in the Uber app.
Yep.
And you pay for it through Uber. You do all the regular stuff just like that. But I will say most taxi companies, right, even where I'm going to Belgium and stuff, they have taxis. You can order right out of the app. They come and pick you up. It's just like an Uber experience, and you just do it get that app wherever you're going. Sometimes you have to be in the country before they'll let you activate the app. So you're not in America ordering a cab in, Switzerland.
Right.
I think that's it for me. I think that's all of the stuff to make sure I didn't miss anything. That's my stuff.
Well, I got too many more, but I'll give you one more just so we can wrap it up. And this is a big one. I know you're going to agree with this one. Hero shots. Big shots. They get the likes, right?
Right.
But the supporting shots make the city feel real. And what I mean by that is you need to cover the city as a story, not just as trophy hunting. Right?
Yeah.
That you have to show the whole, you can't just show like 12 hero shots from your trip. You got to show the frames in between, the food you ate, the places you went, detail shots. That you can't just go after the iconic shots. And so many people, they're cramming in the iconic shots. Me included, I had to figure out this the hard way. Is I could look back at trips and go, you just got like the big shots. You don't have any of those supporting shots. So make sure you're supporting your trip with the detail shots as well as those big hero shots.
Yeah, and the best way to see what we're talking about is go get a digital copy of any travel magazine, and you'll see so many shots of a glass of wine or a waiter putting the food down or a menu or something. You're like, it brings the whole trip to life. And you want the hero shots, right? You want that glorious shot at the Eiffel Tower at dawn and stuff.
Colosseum,
but there's more to Paris than that. And so if you think about how would I handle this, excuse me, if I was on assignment, they asked me, hey, give us a feel for Paris. You might start thinking, when I think of Paris, like what kind of shots should I show up with? Well, when I think of Paris, I think of the baguette. Right? I think of the French flag. I think, of course, of the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. I think of the Seine River, but I also think of wine, French champagne. I would definitely get a champagne bottle shot with a little glass of champagne next to it. All of those things that, like, when people think of France, what are the things that they think of? And if you can't think of them, go to Google Gemini and type in, what are typical things of France? And it will, there's your list.
Yeah.
There's your shot list.
That's the thing. Just don't sleep on those.
All right. Oh, and Phil says
the
obligatory croissant. Yes, and yes. All right.
Exactly.
Natalie says, I love my my famous 24 to 240. That's my go-to lens. I'm so thankful for your recommendation. Somebody else said, I can't see it. Can you scroll up? Love the 24 to 240. Took the majority of my pictures in Italy with it. So there you go.
Yes,
that is my go-to lens. That is it.
And Robin's saying the new Tamron 18 to 300 from mirrorless is a great alternative. All those. You just want something that has that reach.
Hey, take a look on my
screen.
screen.
You always have the wrong
right
lens
now.
on, though, if you have multiple lenses.
All right.
Especially when you travel.
This is on my portfolio. It's a thing called Travel People. And I think every one of these shots was taken with a 24 to 240. Except for...
yeah, most of those I've been with you. No, the only one is that one in Paris down there to the right-hand corner, just because you didn't have a mirrorless camera yet. The one to the right over from mirror. No, right.
This one, you're right.
Yep,
I did not have a mirrorless camera then.
That's when you had DSLR.
But the rest, pretty much, definitely this one, that one, this one, that one. That one I just took
the
last
red umbrella go up. Maybe that one too.
Yeah, that one not. Yeah,
that one might be a
right because
DSLR
that was the
shot.
same trip. That was the same trip. These two were taken on the same trip.
Yeah.
But that one for sure, and all the rest.
But you see how it didn't really matter. We could, like, if we were scrolling, I wouldn't have told you that. If you went down to those images, would you have been like, oh, that's a mirrorless, oh, that's a DSLR, that's this lens, that's that lens. No.
That's a prime lens, that's not a prime lens.
It's actually more the post-processing, how you compose it, the lighting, all that good stuff.
Oh, this one too. This was, we were in Ireland, and we did our kids, we did a archery class, and that was the instructor.
There you
and
go.
I said, can I just get a picture of you? Can I get it? You know.
Yeah, look at that nice light, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys,
There we
that
go.
wraps it up for us. A couple last things. Don't forget, if you want to go on one of these workshops with me, this is your chance. It's been sold out for months, but I got one spot now. So go send me an email at skelby@KelbyOne.com. I'll send you the link, or you can just go to Scott Kelby Workshops. All the information's there, but you won't be able to buy the ticket because it's sold out. So I will send you a direct link to the ticket. And don't forget to sign up for Photoshop World. Do it today so you save the money. PhotoshopWorld.com. All right.
Hey,
Who got some winners?
we got prizes. The Platypod multi-accessory kit is going to Greg Alor. And then iPhone photography book is going to Jenny Crosley. Now, I've got a note in here. It's from the UK, so they get the ebook.
Yeah, you'll have to get the ebook because shipping
So-
it over there, it often doesn't make it.
Yes.
And then they want to charge you a fee.
Yes, and then the night photography book is going to Scott Salisbury, and then the travel photography book is going to Calvin Kendall. So we'll send you out those books and those
There you go.
prizes.
All righty.
There we go.
Well, thank you. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to all of you for watching with us today. Thanks for Dylan Kotecki hanging out with us. Thanks for Dalton Ham for being a very respectful audience over there and even contributing a tip to the show. Thanks to my crew. And we'll see you guys next Thursday around 1-ish on the East Coast. East Coast, East Coast. See you guys.
See you guys.